once you've identified the things that you need to overcome, how do you develop the mindset that kind of allows you to do it?
So there's about 3 different methods. Well, 4. First of all is like consciously being aware of it. Second of all is just visualizing. And third one is affirmations. And also fourth one is subliminals. I won't really get into subliminals right now, but they're pretty much like affirmations that you say that are recorded and then sped up and you listen back to. So for example, you constantly repeat, I feel safe at 10K per month, or I have amazing service delivery, or I'm fucking amazing at sales, or I'm amazing at outreach. If you constantly repeat these things over and over in your mind, some way or another, your subconscious is going to show that out in your daily actions, which will make you better at sales, better outreach. You're going to feel safe at 10K a month, and you're going to start flowing to that goal way more easier compared to your old beliefs that aren't serving you. So
for sure. So I guess that would be a great starting point for people that maybe don't even realize that they have limiting beliefs, but maybe have been working towards a certain goal but struggling to get there for some time.
Yeah.
Maybe the vehicle isn't necessarily wrong. Maybe it is, but let's just assume in this instance it isn't. But it's the mindset or the limiting beliefs that are holding you back.
Yeah.
So once someone is able to fix that, let's assume that they are in the agency model, just because that's what your background was initially. Where would the best place be to begin outreach? Or maybe you could talk on what you did. You said about cold calling.
Yeah.
So what was that process like? And what kind of volume were you doing? Because I think it was quite a lot, right?
I was doing a lot. So I remember getting on a call with my mentor, and he said, okay, Eric, you're going to do 250 cold calls a day, like 100 Loom outreaches a day, 100 cold DMs a day, and other like LinkedIn stuff as well. And I was just like, fuck, okay, so I just got to do it. But I remember I was just getting like headaches from like cold calling because I was just doing way too much. And but I say on average, to be honest, I was doing about 150 per day. That was usually the numbers. And I actually had a 10% booking rate. So I was literally getting 15 meetings every single day with realtors. And it was insane. Like just back then, I didn't realize how good of an opportunity it actually was because it was like my first time doing it. But now the market's a bit different. Sometimes people are still getting 10% ABRs, but yeah, that's kind of how I was doing. I was doing cold looms, cold DMs, cold calling, all that stuff. But usually the best one that actually worked out for me the best was actually cold calling. So yeah.
And after 12 months, am I right in thinking you actually exited your agency? Did you sell it, or did you just decide to tone things down and go into mentoring?
Yeah, to be honest, I honestly just shut it down because I actually realized I had a bit of an existential crisis, and I was like, okay, the more money I'm making, my life just doesn't change. It only gets worse, really, because of the clients that are, talking to me and stuff like that. So, and it was also for a few other reasons as well. I just didn't really like the agency. I didn't feel fulfilled, and I felt more fulfilled doing mentoring, which I'm doing now. And that's kind of how I guess I transitioned. So
yeah, for sure. Well, like we spoke about earlier, I think there's normally 2 things that people struggle with at an agency. Retention is one, but also acquisition in the first place. Now, it sounds like you solved the acquisition problem just through sheer volume. And you kind of were able to overcome that. I don't know what service delivery looked like at that time in retention, but as you're saying, the agency model, it can be difficult because of the level of communication, the team building, that kind of thing. So you mentioned that you weren't really enjoying that experience and wanted to go into mentoring. Could you break down what that looked like from a fulfillment perspective, how you built the team up, and more of the intricacies of the actual running of the agency?
So first of all, you guys need a sustainable backend and bulletproof backend, because if you don't, no matter how many clients you take on, they're all just going to get fucked. So you need to have multiple VAs and automations to pretty much the moment whenever you or your sales rep closes the actual client, they obviously get onboarded by the VA, they get the ads launched, they get the scripts written for them, they get everything done. That's when you pretty much have the most sustainable backend. But you also need customer success managers, all this stuff, because the big thing about retention is it is about the results, but it's more about the actual relationship with the client. And Charlie talks about this as well, Charlie Morgan as well, and also business partner Bo. Like they had clients where they had really good relationships with because they would talk to you very, very often, even though the results were not the greatest sometimes. They would still like maintain them for a few more months extra. So I think that's a big thing. And obviously you're still making the money, but it's not as good as it could be. But you at least at 100K a month, you need multiple sales reps, you need ads running, you need client success managers, you need VAs, sometimes managers as well. But the big thing is transitioning into more of a scalable model. Like, so for example, typical agencies is like done for you. You need to switch into like done with you or DIY, because then your backend's way better, your margins are way better. So there's lots of things you can kind of do with that. But yeah, I think biggest thing is just switching into done with you though, is how to really scale and have, for example, with Estate AI, they were doing 300K a month at the peak, and they had done for you plus done with you. So they were doing like courses and also like sales coaching as well. And they also were doing done for you Facebook ads, which how they got all their clients' results.
So would you say it's just maximizing the opportunity with the clients that are already onboarded? So not just doing done for you, but also being like, look, we can come in, we can do X, Y, and D with your internal teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, for example, some of my top mentees, Kiwa and Keenan, who I actually scaled from like 7K per month to 50K per month in like 5-6 weeks. And they're actually in Dubai right now. They just got back. So it's a crazy story. But one of them was homeless like 10 months ago. Wow. And now he's doing 50K per month. It's insane, but they're actually getting quite a lot of revenue from just upselling clients on sales coaching. So and also a good thing to do is actually have some of your top clients who are doing the biggest numbers, have highest conversion rates, actually come in and just coach all your other clients at a mass scale, pay them whatever it is, a few $100 per call. And then that's going to increase your client results and also your LTV as well. So that's going to help them close way more deals. You're going to get way better service as well. And that's kind of the best way to do it. So, and also you could also have some of your top clients make courses on it, on how to close or whatever it is. But I think to start off, you definitely just need that extra sales coaching thing, because that's going to help you guys maximize the client results. So
yeah, for sure. So just upselling and cross-selling where possible.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So that's we kind of spoke now on a little bit how you were able to get your clients through the door, which was mostly cold calling. Was anything else working as well at the time that you
Yeah, I was also doing cold loom. So I made this cold loom automation, which some of the legends might actually know about this on my YouTube. That was like one of my first videos, or actually was my first video. So I pretty much showed I created a method on how to like fully automate looms. So that was very good as well for me. I got a few clients from that, but looking back, it mainly was just from cold calling, and I had a massive cold calling team as well. And that helped out a ton as well. So
amazing. Yeah. So cold calling, cold looms, which that process, just to break it down then, is just sending a cold email, and the initial email going out is it a personalized loom to the receiver?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, somewhat personalized. So it pretty much had this was the whole automation. So it had like a set recording of, it was like a 2.5 minute long, me just pretty much just pitching them and using a bunch of psychological biases. And then I would play that over me scrolling up and down the website, fully automated. So it would seem like I'm actually reaching out to them. And the stats actually showed that if I said their name or if I didn't say their name, even if I was on the website saying the things, it would still have pretty much the exact same booking rates. So that worked very, very well. But I also started doing ads, and that's when things really started to take off. So this ties into networking. This is why I think networking is so important, because I had no idea what to do with ads. My mentor, he was good, but he didn't really take it to like the next level, right? So I actually had no idea how to run ads like for myself to get myself clients. And the way I actually discovered it was because of my YouTube channel, because someone DM'd me a few months ago. We became very good friends. I did a coaching call with him, and we became very good friends over the few months. And then one of his friends mentioned that he scaled from 10K a month to 40K a month in 30 days with this new TikTok ad strategy.
Okay.
And he was telling me about it. I was like, oh fuck, okay, we got to launch these. So I just did the exact same thing as him, and I think I cash collected like 20K in the first like few weeks of actually doing it with my friend who I was coaching before. And then that's when things really just started to take off, because it's like the networking aspect, because I would have never learned how to do ads if I didn't have a YouTube channel, because he came into me, and then so it's like it's very, very it's crazy. I think that's why networking works so well. Yeah,
for sure. Well, you're able to speak to other people that are maybe doing what you're doing or doing what you're aspiring to do, and leverage their knowledge the same way that you would do with a mentor, I guess.
Exactly.
Really just kind of like providing value to one another and just understanding what's working in each individual industry. So cold calling, cold looms and ads, you then had a solid team and a solid back end that you had to build out to be able to fulfill. And then after 12 months, you decided you weren't really enjoying the process, you didn't feel fulfilled, and you decided to make that switch into mentoring. So what was that transition like? And I guess how have you then been able to build out a successful mentoring business again from the ground up? Because it's essentially your second business now, right?
Yeah. So pretty much main thing is just YouTube. I think YouTube is pretty much got me almost all my clients, and also Instagram as well. But honestly, just having a good YouTube is going to be the best thing for the business. But at least in the back end, before I'm starting to transition more and change it up now, but before it was just purely just one-on-one, didn't have any course or anything. It was literally just one-on-one calls and WhatsApp chat. That's how I pretty much got my first few mentoring clients, like first probably just under 100, I'd say. And then from there, I'm now transitioning more of a model where my other top most successful mentees are also coming as mentors, helping me out as well, and helping out with the calls and stuff like that. And I'm also having other guest speakers and stuff like that come in and help all the mentees as well. And I'm also doing like in-person client events as well, which is actually really sick. So I actually like a few weeks ago, I went to the same island that I did my first trip with Nick and Jordan, who we went to Crete it's like a Greek island, and I actually hosted the same event there, the same island. And that was a crazy time. We booked out like a 10-bedroom villa. It was insane. And we booked out some yachts. It was just fun time because like I get so desensitized to traveling because I've lived it so many times. But I remember that first moment after dropping out of university, and then 5 months later, or like 4 months later, whatever it was, I'm in like a villa in Europe living with my friends. It's like, it's such a crazy feeling, but I'll probably never actually experience that feeling again. But it was almost a similar feeling because I got to relive it through my mentees, because that was their first time traveling and doing all that stuff. So it was crazy to see like their reactions to everything. It's just such a good feeling. So yeah, I'm going to try to host like a 30-person one out here in Dubai in December. So we'll see how that goes. So
amazing.